Hello there, it's Wednesday again. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different. And in case you're wondering why there's a first aid kit sitting on my table, I'll tell you that it isn't a first aid kit. This is my weaving toolbox. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a look at some of my favorite tools that are inside here. Now, first of all, I use this little box because it's absolutely perfect for the purpose. So if I open it up, it's not too big, it's not too cumbersome, and it's got this lovely little tray on the top where I can store all sorts of little things. And this is important, you understand, because there are some things that you actually want right where you can catch them without even really having to look and see where you're going. So, just a couple of my really favorite weaving tools here. Sitting right on top of the box, right there, are my thread snips. These little guys are worth their weight in gold, especially when your fingers are starting to get a little bit arthritic, and getting them through the loops on a pair of scissors is not so easy, or it's just inconvenient and a bit clumsy. Those little guys you can simply pick up and snip that thread. Fabulous. Another one of my very favorite things is this little chap. It's a needle case. In this case, pun. In this case, it is a set of crewel sewing needles. I really like a crewel needle. It's a fine needle. It has a large eye and it has a sharp point. So again, when your birthdays are beginning to catch up with you and you find it difficult to thread a needle, these are fantastic. And the fact that they come in this little case means that over the years I have lost not a single one. And they all stay together in my toolbox, ready for me whenever I need them. Obviously a selection of pins. We all know why we need pins, and tape measures. And here is another example of a really great little tool that I use over and over again. This is a quilter's clip. I think the quilters sometimes call them magic clips. I'm not 100% sure. And I use my quilter's clip to clip my tape measure onto my weaving when I'm measuring my work. Absolutely great. Here's something that is a little bit unusual. I think you probably wouldn't really expect to find it in a weaving toolbox. A lead sinker. It's a fishing weight. And I find that these are really, really handy. Sometimes you just have one thread that for some reason will not behave, that's a little bit loose, that needs a little bit of extra tension on it. And all you want to do is hang a weight on it. This is a 45-gram weight, and I find that these are absolutely perfect. Usually I've got like a little dog clip thing that goes through the loop. I don't have one in here at the moment. But you simply put a clip through there, or even just tie a piece of yarn through it and hang it on your thread, and it works a bomb. What else have I got? Here I've got my little mascot. Can you see him? How cute is that? I keep him in there because his friendly face makes me smile every time I open the box. So he lives on top of the tape measure. Now I can take my tray out, and there's a whole lot more surprises in here. I keep little bits and pieces of sandpaper in my toolbox. I think we've all had it where we've dropped a shuttle or a pickup stick and we get that nasty little kind of rough bit on the nose, and it makes picking up your threads just uncomfortable and unpleasant. A little piece of sandpaper goes a long way towards helping that. I keep a set of screwdrivers because they're handy for tightening up loose screws, obviously. Really? Who'd have thought? Warp stick ties. These are the guys that hold the warp sticks on to the rollers on the Ashford looms. Occasionally, they might pull out of the rollers. They shouldn't do if you've put them into the rollers the right way around, but in any event, a handy thing to have. My ever constant companion, my yarn gauge, also in there. Here I have a proper warp thread weight, one of the Ashford ones, and I keep a couple of these in here as well. The fishing sinkers are great for the occasional loose thread. Sometimes you just need more than that. And then these proper warp thread weights that have the little spool that you can wind your excess thread onto, these are absolutely fantastic. So there's always a couple of those in there. Oops, don't do that. PVA glue. If you are weaving something that's going to have a turned hem and you do a little section of sewing thread, weaving with sewing thread, and you know that you're not going to waste your time sewing a sewn hem onto it, you simply put a line of glue down the bottom and it holds everything in place. Absolutely fantastic. A mirror. I'm not going to point it directly at the camera. This is great for double weave, or for any weave structure really. If you want to see what's happening on the other side of your work, you simply put your mirror underneath your weaving and you can see what's happening. So there you are, just a few of the tools of my trade. Oh, and don't forget this guy. Where would we be without him? Our double-ended threading hook. And of course its flexibility is part of what makes it so fantastic. So I know there's a whole lot of other stuff in here that I haven't shown you, but there's nothing sort of terribly much out of the ordinary. And I hope that you've managed to pick up just a few small tips of things that might make your weaving life easier. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.